The caption of
This woman is fucking nuts. This woman is nuts.
Yeah. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Give me a second. I'm about to pull the stream up. The more people like the video, the more people come into the live. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours tonight, I'm looking to meet a $15 live stream goal. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Also in the description. Or you could do super chat, super sticker. That's the dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. $5 makes you a live stream sponsor, king or queen of the stream. Other than that, let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
this video reads, "You have met a good man or woman, you just didn't want them."
Hold on, let me record this.
The caption of this video reads, "You have met a good man or woman, you just didn't want them." And this was posted a year ago today. Not exactly a year ago, but around a year ago today. And it was made by a TikTok creator by the name of Dana. I'm pretty sure you've seen her before. And she was being very reflective of her life and honest about the decisions that she made.
The men who would have treated me the way I wanted to be treated, I didn't want. That's just the honest truth, right? And if more people would just be honest about the fact that they have met good people, they have met solid people who would have been great partners in a relationship, but for whatever reason, it was just something about that person you just couldn't get with, and that's the reason why you didn't move forward. Most of us have met good people.
Yeah. We're gonna dive in on that, but let's see what this is real quick. She got exposed.
You've seen the headlines. Entrepreneur and TV personality Anton Daniels is accused of.
I mean, I didn't sit down and watch this, but I seen it pop up on my. Can you give me the synopsis? Divine Photos. Oh, so yeah, Divine Photos. If you can find me the scoop on this chick I'm about to go over, maybe a video of her getting exposed. So let's do this. Okay. So why didn't you like the guys who would have been good to you? Well, okay, women are super shallow, and handsome isn't even good enough for a woman who thinks she cute. They want a man who's super duper fine. So that's one reason why she may have, passed on the dude who would have treated her right. Another reason is women don't want a man who don't have a backbone, and women don't want a man who's gonna kiss their butt. So he was probably a simpy type guy who was giving her signals that he was gonna kiss butt, and he ain't have a spine, and that's probably what she didn't like about him. As we know, most women have a thing for those edgy bad boys. So he wasn't edgy enough, or he wasn't fine enough, or he wasn't tall enough, or his car wasn't nice enough. Women are super shallow, so it could have been any little stupid thing. But they end up paying for it. I feel like God pays them back with the life of loneliness and the life of your only friends being online. Well, I guess I can't talk. Let's keep it going.
reason why you didn't move forward. Most of us have met good people. That's what y'all really need to start talking more about online instead of who don't do what and what you can't get. You've met good people. Stop it. All right? And if you haven't, it's definitely something wrong with you. It's definitely something wrong with you. You are the problem if you've never met a good man.
Yeah. Well, let's be clear. There's something wrong with you if you met multiple good men and you didn't seal them and you didn't, seal the deal. There's something wrong with you too, man. So, I mean, tread lightly.
Wrong with you. You are the problem if you've never met a good man. You've never met a good woman. You just didn't want them. You just didn't want them. Just keep it a buck. You just didn't want them. And for whatever reason it was that you didn't want them is your business, but you didn't want them, but you did meet them. You did. Stop it. Right? Like, I never get jealous when I see women get online and show the stuff that they man doing for them because I look at said man and I know if I was put in the position for said man, I wouldn't have wanted them. I would.
That's cute. Yeah. That's cute, but you still get jealous because you still want the guys that you do want, who you have in your phone, to do that nice stuff for you, and they never will. So yeah, you don't fantasize about that particular guy doing it for you. You fantasize about the guy who just left at 3 in the morning doing it for you. But you still get jealous. Let's not get that misconstrued.
It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over that one. I'm trying to see, do I want to go over that one now or do I want to go over it? You know what? Yeah, I'll do that one next. I already sent that to myself to review it later, but I'll do it now.
They get stuck in this endless trap of all the men I want don't want me and or are already married, or the men who want me, I don't want them. So they end up like stuck in the middle.
We'll get the likes up, likes up, likes up. I got 5 people watching and no likes. Let's get the likes up, please.
Position for said man, I wouldn't have wanted him. I wouldn't have wanted him. So it's no way for me to be jealous of what he's doing when I know that I would have passed on him. I would have passed on him. And that's just the truth. Most of the time, the people who gonna treat you right, you just don't be wanting them. And I don't know what it is to that, but that's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm not exempt from it. I'm sure some men who done met me and they was like, dang, she's such a dope girl, da 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 da. But if for whatever reason they didn't like me, it is what it is. That's
Well, here's the thing. Your personality is like a lot over the top and you do these silly TikToks. So yeah, you too much. And you all over the internet with this nonsense. So if I had to predict why they didn't like you, those would be my two first guess. Those would be my two first guesses.
girl, da 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 da. But if for whatever reason they didn't like me, it is what it is. That's life. But we gotta stop sitting up here and acting like you never met good people. All right, you never met a good man, never met a good one. Yeah, you did. You just didn't want them.
In my opinion, this has a lot to do with trauma. But actually, just because someone's good doesn't mean that you guys are compatible. There's religion, there's politics, there's family values, there's, little icks and stuff. Maybe there's shit that they do that are like little things, but you just can't deal with them. There's a lot that goes into a relationship. But if you find someone who doesn't have any of those things, you align, and you just still don't want them for some reason, oftentimes that's some sort of trauma, daddy issues, mommy issues, whatever the case is.
See, here's the thing. I mean, what he just said is true, but she was a cute woman or whatever. She's had 200 men that she talked to since she was 14. I mean, I don't know for sure, but you get my point. She had every opportunity. I think she's in her 30s minimum. She had every opportunity for this past 15, 20 years to pick a guy who was good enough. Plenty of opportunities. It's not like she met one or two good guys over those 20 years. She's met at least 10 or 15. So let's just be clear about that.
Daddy issues, mommy issues, whatever the case is. I found this interesting because after I seen this video, I seen this one straight after.
Hitting the wall was a very real thing. I never argued with Kevin Samuels about that. Because the reality is the older you get, the worse your options get. So by the time you get to said age and you look around and you realize what you're left with to choose from, and you realize it is either gonna be you dealing with somebody who you don't find to be attractive, somebody who come with a bunch of baggage, who got a bunch of problems.
That's you, ma'am. Yeah. But do you realize that you you are the P in the dating pool as well? You come with a bunch of baggage and a bunch of problems. So this guy that you have in your mind who you would be settling for, y'all would be settling for each other. Maybe that can make you get over the hump once you realize that.
It is either gonna be you dealing with somebody who you don't find to be attractive, somebody who come with a bunch of baggage, who got a bunch of problems, divorcees, bunch of kids. You realize you dealing with somebody who they never got it together throughout their life, so
Yeah, look, listen, ma'am. Listen. It's time for you to level a man up. Yeah, if they didn't get it together through life, you step them up then. That's the age where you're at. If you're like 35, 40, yeah, it's time for you to bring more value than you get. You had plenty of opportunity for it to be reversed. But now you got to bring more to the table than you receive. You only getting older. You're only getting older.
divorcees, bunch of kids. You realize you dealing with somebody who they never got it together throughout their life, so they still don't have nowhere to stay. They still not financially stable, still jumping from job to job if they even got a job. You just realize you really don't have no options, right? And so now you're met with the wall, right? And either you get to choose at that wall if you're going to settle or you're going to just go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna hit the wall.
Okay. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. It's funny now because she's still fit and cute. When them wrinkles really start coming in and the filters on TikTok won't even help, and that body start looking kind of suspicious, she gonna change her tune. She is gonna change her tune, and she is gonna be one angry woman. All these jokes and stuff gonna go out the window. Trust me. Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
Or you're going to just go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I'm gonna hit the
It's funny because she made it funny, okay? So I can laugh. This reality is a little bit darker for women because women won't date younger. They just won't do it, right? Whereas men, if they have the option to, they will. Like a man in Dana's position, she's doing well on TikTok, she probably, does well for herself financially, she looks good. A man in her position would have no problem dating like a 28-year-old. He'd do it.
Yeah. Let me throw this out there too. Yeah. Do you think she's not getting any pain? You don't think D's is running up in her? I mean, I'm sure she would say she's been single for 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. You think she been celibate for those years she been single? Absolutely not. See, she ain't gonna go there.
Does well for herself financially, she looks good. A man in her position would have no problem dating like a 28-year-old. He'd do it. No problem. She won't do it. So she really has to look at the men her age or older. And yeah, I can imagine it gets dark because the good ones are taken. The good ones are taken, or they're like bachelors just busting down a whole bunch of things. But are they really good ones if they're doing that? Probably not. So now you're in this position. Personally, look, again, obviously, I'm a man, male brain, male chemicals. Just date.
Look, yep. Sheila. What up, Sheila? Good evening. Glad to see you. Well, you gotta ask yourself this. Does she want a good man? I mean, she just explained in the other video that she basically been passing up on good men for years. She don't want a good man. She wouldn't know what to do with one even if she got him. Well, here's the thing. She wouldn't know what to do with Mr. Perfect. Even if a guy was perfect in every way, she's probably never even been in a 3-year relationship, like a real relationship. So yeah, she's cooked. She did meet her ideal guy, she would probably run away. The pressure of trying to actually be a decent human being in a relationship would run her off.
Personally, look, again, obviously, I'm a man, male brain, male chemicals. Just date younger, but they just won't. Just can't do it.
Did y'all see that video of this man basically saying, it's not that I'm that great of a guy, even though he believes he was attractive, but it's just that the dating pool with the men right now here are trash? I actually had a friend tell me directly that it's so easy for him to get a woman to want to be with him.
These types of women only believe men when they're reaffirming things that they already believe. It's so interesting, man.
Just by being a decent guy and treating her like a human, simply because the men that women are dating are so bad that when they come across a decent guy, they want to hold on to him. Notice.
Okay. Yeah. Keep in mind, most women, especially if they have any attractiveness on them, they don't see any guy less than a top 10 percenter. So when she says, "Oh, most men are treating women like crap," she means most of the men who got a ton of options because he's tall and fine. So yeah, when you meet the tall, fine guy who actually willing to return a text or act like he's listening to you on a date, he's like a unicorn. Well, the funny thing is, he's gonna pump and dump too. He's just gonna be nice about it. But yeah, just keep that in mind because handsome isn't good enough to these women. So when they talk about men, they're talking about the super duper fine men who look like models. So you got to listen in that context whenever you hear women on the internet talking about men. Most men treat women really good. Most men would feel like it's their lucky day to even get to go on a date with a pretty girl. So don't believe this hogwash about most men treat women like garbage. You telling on yourself, but you're not smart enough to realize it.
That women are dating are so bad that when they come across a decent guy, they want to hold on to him. Notice how the men saying this didn't put the blame on the women, but they put the blame on the men. Even though they believe they are good guys, they are just treating women that they're dating as decent human beings. And just by being a decent, not phenomenal, not grandiose, not great boyfriend, partner, whatever, treating a woman with basic bare minimum respect gets them more play than they anticipated.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you treat bottom 50% men with basic human decency? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would say no if I had to take a wild guess. A woman talking about people acting like decent human beings is so ironic. It's so ironic.
And partner, whatever, treating a woman with basic bare minimum respect gets them more play than they anticipated simply because they don't treat women like the bottom of their shoe. They don't treat women like they hate them. They treat those women that they're engaging with like they care about their well-being as people.
Let me ask you this. If women didn't like being mistreated by these men, why are these men always swimming in it? If women can't stand how these men treat women, why do they keep going out with them and going back time after time after time again? Because you like it. You're turned on by it. You're not going to admit that because it's going to mess up this whole decent human being narrative.
True. They don't treat women like they hate them. They treat those women that they're engaging with like they care about their well-being as people. I think the men don't believe women when they speak on their dating experiences out here. So when other men who are decent human beings talk about dating women and how much play they get just by being decent individuals, it let them know that not only are the women not lying about their experiences, the ratio of decent men to terrible men is very, very low. If y'all don't hear it and take it from a woman, maybe y'all will hear it and take it from a man.
This is my theory. This is my theory when it comes to very attractive women. Firstly, this is
Yeah. Listen, baby. The Tyrones and Pookies, the top tier Tyrones and Pookies that you want to see this video are never going to see this video. And if they do come across it, they're just going to laugh at you. This public service announcement is not going to change those men because their method of treating y'all like garbage works like a charm. Never mind.
Single at my age didn't come from bad. Me being single at my
Okay, let's look at this other one because I think it's going to be pretty relevant. Hold on.
You have something I want.
Okay, This is a very important, yeah. This is a very important TikTok. She says when he fine 6'4" with no kids. Okay, fine and 6'4" with no kids in her age range. It's probably literally 0.05%. And this is what she means when she say I can't find no good man and I'm not settling for less. Anything less than 6'4" and fine with no kids is settling for less. And you know those aren't her only 3 requirements. These people are sick. So keep this TikTok in mind as we go over this next one.
At my age, me being single at my age didn't come from bad decision making, stupid. It came from me never finding the man that I wanted to be with. I don't know in what delusional world y'all men live in where you think that it was all of these wonderful, great men running around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys.
Okay, but stop it. Your definition of a great, wonderful man is fine, 6'4", swag, and all this other stuff. See, that's what she's not gonna define. Cause see, if somebody who's not red pilled hear that, they might just think she meant just a regular, decent guy, good morals, good values, not hideous looking. No, that's not her idea of a good, great, wonderful guy. So yes, you're single at this age because you made horrible decisions. Yes, you're single at this age because you made horrible decisions trying to chase a fairy tale. Well, I'm not settling for anything less than 6'4". That makes you slow. Yes, you made horrible decisions by trying to chase a 0.05 percenter and thinking you were going to marry one of those. That's not realistic. That's not realistic, and you're the dumb one. But let's continue.
Around when we was in our 20s and we just passed up on all of these great guys. The attractive men when we were in our 20s were doing what attractive men do, which is be players, talk to a whole bunch of different women, and never want to settle down.
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. Eh, When you're one of the most elite men in the city or one of the most elite teens in the city, yeah, you're going to do that. It's human nature. And I'm sure all the guys you ignored and rejected in high school and college, they would feel the same way about you. She didn't want to settle down. She was holding down. She didn't want to settle down. She was holding out for these top tier dudes that ran through her. They would say a similar story about you. You didn't want to settle down. You was having too much fun riding 6'4" dudes pogo sticks, hoping that they would come to their senses from your point of view and wife you up. Yeah, they didn't wanna settle down because they thought they were too good for you, and you didn't wanna settle down with the bottom 99.5% of the men who was around you because you thought you were too good for them. So, similar story.
Talk to a whole bunch of different women and never want to settle down. You do understand that, right? So, given that the attractive men in their 20s didn't want to settle down, that left us with ugly dudes, dudes with kids, and dudes who didn't have themselves together.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. First off, let me say this. Every pretty girl with a nice body, and I don't know what her body look like, but let's just say she pretty with a nice body, isn't entitled to a tall, handsome man who got his stuff together. It's not enough of those men to go around. There's not enough 6'5", 40, to 50-year-old dudes with no kids and this and that and swagger enough to go around for every pretty fit girl. There's only enough of them to go around for 0.5% of women. So 99.5%, or let's just say this. Let's put it like this. 99.5% of pretty fit girls aren't going to get their match or what they think is their match in the male form. It's not going to happen. And that's one of the main reasons why the prettiest women are usually the ones you see never getting married because they think they deserve something that's never coming, and they would rather just stay single than quote unquote settle. But let's throw this out there too, because the title of this stream is, women don't think handsome is good enough. Her definition of ugly is any guy below a 9. So you got to keep this stuff in context when she say, ugly dudes who don't got their stuff together. Her definition of not having your stuff together is making anything under $200,000 a year. You got to keep these things in mind when you listen to these dingbats.
With kids and dudes who didn't have their stuff together. It's the same thing now that I'm older. The options didn't go from good to bad. It went from bad to worse, right? Now, instead of dudes just having kids, they got kids and grandchildren. And if you think some of them was unattractive back then, add on now the fact that some of them is out of shape, they ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth.
But this is the part that she don't get. This is the part that she don't get. Even though she a cute girl and she fit, you're the equivalent to the nigga with a missing side tooth with 3 kids by 3 different baby mamas and can barely afford a bus pass. You're the pretty female equivalent to that. You're dog shit on the dating market, even though you're pretty. That's what she can't get through her thick skull. That loser guy is your level. You're that ran through pretty girl who could never get it together. And in men's eyes, you're the equivalent of One-Eye Earl down at the plant with the weird limp. That's how they see you after they bust their. But you don't think that's how they see you because they'll. But you don't think that's how they see you because they'll act nice to you for a couple days until they can hit. But then after they hit once or twice, you One-Eyed Earl down at the plant to men. The female version of that.
Is out of shape, they ain't got no hairline, and they missing side teeth. They wasn't financially stable in their 20s, and a lot of them still ain't financially stable. Some of them still paying child support from the same babies that they was having when they was in their 20s. Y'all gotta start being for real. These podcast lies that all of these men was gonna get older and they was just gonna become these rich men, that didn't happen for most of them. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. It didn't happen. You're right. It didn't happen for most of those men. But is that going to make your life better? I mean, you can make fun of those men all you want, but misery is still your future. So it might make you feel good temporarily to make fun of those guys, but their life is better than yours. They might have multiple kids by multiple baby mamas and stuff, but hey, they got a family that love them. You don't have any kids. You're 40 plus, no kids, never gonna have no kids. This is sad. I would say they're still winning that life compared to you, even if you make 200,000.
Become these rich men, that didn't happen for most of them. Sorry. A lot of the men in their 20s who was doing all that settling down and getting married were undesirable men. Men on the verge of losing their hairlines. Men who didn't have no bunch of options of women to choose from in the first place. That's
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're shaming the men who settled down and started families because they didn't have a bunch of options, which would have made them the dudes who don't want you and who put you in this horrible, treacherous position you're in. So you can't stand the guys who keep just using you and throwing you to the curb, but then you can't stand the guys who are wholesome, decent humans and started families. Yeah, you're just a miserable human being. Because guess what? Eventually, you're going to lose your hairline. and you're gonna be looking dusty and busted, and you're gonna be more mentally ill than these dudes you're making fun of because it's a longer fall from grace, and there's nothing you can do to get it back once it goes. Like, you're on the same trajectory as every other woman. You just gonna be some old, wrinkly, ugly, washed up bitch one day. But here's the thing that some women are gonna have and you don't. Some women actually were decent human beings on the inside, so people are still gonna love them and want to be around them when they're old and ugly and wrinkly. And you're gonna still be on TikTok at 70 talking about men ain't shit. You're a loser, man. A loser.
Men who didn't have no bunch of options of women to choose from in the first place. That's the reason why it was so easy for them to settle down. And just like anything else, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. And I'm sure some women got lucky and they were able to find desirable men to settle down with in their 20s, but the exceptions don't make the rule. And I'd argue how many of those women and men are still married to this day. How many of those marriages actually lasted?
Yeah, you super triggered. You are super triggered. And you gotta say that to make yourself feel better about your pathetic life. You gotta be like, well, they probably didn't work out anyway. I ain't want that anyway. They probably struggling or, they probably going through it. Those men probably cheating though. This is sad and sick.
Women and men are still married to this day. How many of those marriages actually lasted? Shout out to the ones that did. I know how y'all like to rewrite history and pretend as if it was all of these wonderful, great men for us to choose from in our 20s, and we just wanted to be outside and we wanted to party with our girls and we didn't want to settle down. That's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then. And you're still in the same position.
Yeah, but look, the options weren't there, but you were still getting ran through though. None of the men you found worthy found you worthy. Have you coped with that yet? Have you healed from that? So I mean, since there were no good men and the men didn't want you and your standards are so high and you don't settle, so you didn't settle for one night stands with 6'4" guys who were fine then, right? Right? You a virgin then, right? Because you don't settle. And if a 6'4" fine guy, didn't want to be in a relationship with you, you surely didn't give him your body, right? Oh, okay.
Down, that's not what was happening. The options weren't there back then. And you're still in the same position. The dudes who older, who are still desirable, they still don't want to settle down. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. It just gets worse. That's the part you're missing.
But okay. Here's my thing though. So where does that leave you in the equation? The dusties who couldn't get no better, so they settled down. The top tier dudes who don't want to settle down because it ain't worth it, because they end up stuck with old bitter bitches like you. Even if they do pick you young, you end up still becoming this and saying, "Oh, I do the dishes too much and I need some help around the house." It's always going to be something. So, but where does that leave? But where does that leave you in all of this? Miserable, talking shit on social media as a grown ass woman.
So nothing changes. Nothing changes. It just gets worse. That's the part you're missing. So there's nothing that I can warn the younger girls about except letting them know that if you think it's bad now, it's gonna get worse.
So technically, you would okay. So by that logic, you should be telling them, go ahead and settle for a dude who's just getting. So by that logic, you should be telling them to quote unquote settle because it's only going to get worse, right? So just get the best you can get now because it's only going to get worse. Yeah, never mind.
finding it so hard. Seattle black men do not like black women. Seattle black men prefer white women or
Oh, no, no, no. I think it's just they don't prefer black women who look like they work directly for Lucifer. I think that might be what it is. Don't just generalize and say black men just don't like black women in this city or whatever. Look at what you look like. Who in their right mind is gonna like this? It's almost like you're trying to repel men with this look. When do they get to this point? How many rejections or failed relationships or situationships before they just say F it and do this to themselves? Y'all can let me know below.
black men prefer white women or Hispanic women. Now, I'm not saying all, but most black men don't fuck with black women out here. Like most of the men out here, you'll see them walking around with a white woman or like a Caucasian woman or white passing. But the thing is, they low-key go for the exotic looking white women or they go for the basic white women. But because most of them are like my clients, so they tell me certain things.
You look, no funny. Is this even a woman? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. People need to stop telling their business to people who look like this, or just period, but especially when it comes to people who look like this. She's gonna try to blame it on race, but it's really just you're a train wreck and you're mentally ill. And I highly doubt you're a good partner in a relationship. So don't try to blame it on race. Please don't try to blame it on race. Everything's not a race issue. But yeah, I don't blame black men for dating outside their race. And we see examples of why black men date outside their race every day here on Dating Dysfunctions. Yeah. Nature demands variety. So look, here's the thing. I was at the store today and I interacted with a stereotypical B dub, and it was a horrible experience. And I only interacted with her for 3 seconds max. And I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. That's how bad it was. So loud and masculine. And the thing is, she was actually being nice. And it was that unpleasant. I mean, she was actually saying something beneficial to me. And it was still that unpleasant.
Because most of them are like my clients. So they tell me certain things and I usually see certain things too. So don't think you're gonna come out here and be treated like a black queen when most of these black men will literally treat you like shit. Like I've seen countless of times a black man hold the door for a white woman and then a black woman will come behind and literally like just shut the door and not
Yeah, I call cap on that. Yeah, I call cap on that. I don't think that ever happened. I think she made that story up for dramatic effect. But y'all let me know what y'all think below. If that's a true story that ever happened.
black woman will come behind and literally like just shut the door and not really give a fuck. So no shade, take it from me. But if you think you're about to find a black king out here, don't waste your time.
All right, so let's hold off for a second and let's address the elephant in the room. I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at because let's just take it on surface level. Tattoos is crazy, bull nose ring, look like smoke trees because the lips is going black. And I'm not dissing. I'm just keeping it 100. Look like it's got lip fillers, and I'm not even sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, we just gonna leave it at that. The second thing is, well, what do you expect if 92% of black women represent themselves to be liberal and voted for Kamala Harris? If y'all mutilate yourselves, y'all mutilate your bodies, y'all mutilate your skin, a lot of times they don't carry themselves a certain way. And so I disagree with that. I disagree with the premise that black men hate, according to this title, black women. I don't believe that. I believe that all men like all women who are feminine, and they may have a preference based off of their experience or how they grew up and stuff like that. She specifically saying Seattle. I don't even know how many black people out in Seattle was like that. But if you sitting here and telling me that the majority of black men hate black women or do not prefer black women, I'm gonna call that a bold-faced lie 10 times out of 10. It's a lie. The truth ain't in you. They don't like the version of what you've become a lot of times, you personally, because every black woman that I gonna find you a black king out here. No, your marketplace value is different because of how you carry yourself and how you present yourself. That's the real truth behind it.
One thing that I've noticed, like I've never experienced any other race or ethnic group of men like go out of their way to try to like diminish or put a black woman down besides the black man. Like you could just
Okay, yeah. We can say the exact same thing. There's no other race of women who put their men down more than black women, by far. I mean, it took a lot of nerve for her to turn this camera on and say this. I guess it's projection. We just defending ourselves against all the hate we get from y'all.
diminish or put a black woman down besides the black man. Like you could just be minding your business and then here comes a fucking black man trying to down your appearance and shit or just talk about you for no reason. Like you don't even know the guy. Like why are you even being rude and nasty to me? Like why are you talking on me or about me? Like anything that I have on, anything that I'm doing, like why? Like I've never experienced any other race of men go out of their way and say something rude and nasty. Like why do y'all do that?
You know, this is real. This honestly, I'm keeping 100 with you. It sounds very anecdotal, meaning that she sounds like she probably had a negative experience. And now it's why do black men hate black women so much? She don't even look like the type of person. Like there's nothing glaringly crazy about her that makes her stand out from anybody to where somebody like she
something rude and nasty for no reason. Like you don't even know the guy. Like why are you even being rude and nasty to me? Like why are you talking on me or about me? Like anything that I have on, anything that I'm doing, like why? Like I've never experienced any other race of men go out of their way and say something rude and nasty.
Yeah. I wasn't really paying attention to what she was saying, but I think I got the gist of it. If you say anything that can be considered a criticism or anything, or maybe you just don't like whatever and you go in on a black woman, it can't just be that somebody had a problem with them individually. They always got to go, oh, you don't like black women and black men don't like black women. No, maybe a black man just didn't like your ass. It don't got to be this whole conspiracy. There could be a bunch of reasons why a particular person is rude to you or nasty to you.
Never experienced any other race of men go out of their way and say something rude and nasty. Like why do y'all do that?
You know, this is real. This honestly, I'm keeping 100 with you. It sounds very anecdotal, meaning that she sounds like she probably had a negative experience. And now it's why do black men hate black women so much? She don't even look like the type of person. Like there's nothing glaringly crazy about her that makes her stand out from anybody to where somebody would come up to you and say, "Hey, black woman, Why are you this way? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, they would probably compliment her because she looks really nice. You know what I'm saying? So am I missing something? Am I off here? Am I disconnected completely from what's happening in the culture and what's happening in society? Because I tend to believe that it may be attitude or it may be one situation, or you might have ran into one crackhead that's standing at the corner that's saying something crazy and wild to you. And now that becomes a stereotype or a perspective that's placed on all black men. Now, I'm only speaking to black because this is the name of the video. This is the issue that these, or how they're communicating that people are really operating on a mass scale. I think that this might be an anecdotal experience then projected onto everybody.
Why? And then it's always, oh, I'm joking. Why are you joking with me? Like, do I look like a joke, bitch? Don't joke with me. I don't joke with you guys. I don't. It's nothing funny about you guys. Y'all be, and it's always the ones that just be got tattoos on their face, looking mad dirty. Mother don't love them. Father never cared about them. It's
Yeah, somebody roasted her. Yeah, some Pookie. Yeah. Some Pookie roasted her, playfully roasted her. Y'all know how I feel about roasting, but I won't go down that road. And she got butthurt. Black women say rude, disrespectful stuff to black men all the time and try to say it's just joking and oh, you sensitive and you don't got a sense of humor. Y'all do that all the time to us. But if we do it back to you, you ready to throw a fit. Yeah, they can dish it, but they can't take it. I already know that about black women. If you say something that hurt their feelings, they talking about getting somebody to come shoot the place up. But we supposed to just take all they disrespect that they say is playing around. So yeah, if y'all want me to stay on 2 hours, I'm looking to meet a $15 live stream goal. Nothing has been met. Cash App pinned to the top of the chat. PayPal at the top of the chat and in the description. Or you could do super chat, super sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. If not, I'm probably going to get off of here after this video.
that just be got tattoos on their face, looking mad dirty. Mother don't love them. Father never cared about them. It's just like not, but you don't have to exude that energy to me because I don't do that to people. I treat people with respect. Stop playing with me, dog.
And when it comes to these black men who specifically say that they don't date any black women, like black women whatsoever, you have to look at the relationship with their mother.
What? What are you talking about? No. A dude could have a great relationship with his black mother and still not want anything to do with you ratchet B-dubs. It has nothing to do with relationship with his mother. And see, these women only get triggered when a guy they like don't like them back and don't date black women. They don't care about who 90% of black men date. They only get triggered when one of the 10%ers say, oh no, I don't date black women. That's when they got to make a TikTok video about it.
Whatsoever, you have to look at the relationship with their mother or their grandmother or any of the women in their life. And that will tell you why that man is saying that. Because a lot of the times when black men be like, they don't want to date no black woman whatsoever, it don't matter, even though they have not encountered every single black woman.
You don't have to encounter every single black woman. When you encounter 50 of them and 47 of them on some major bullshit, yeah, you can make an educated decision to not mess with B-dubs. Because I mean, I'll say for myself, look, 90% of the black women I've come in contact with have been really off-putting for one reason or another. So look, I don't even want to be in those circles. Even if I do meet a 10%er, She know a bunch of 90 percenters. Her family is filled with a bunch of 90 percenters. Her friend group is filled with a bunch of 90 percenters. No, I'm cool. So I'm still gonna have to be around them, and I'm cool on that.
Every single black woman, yet they stereotype and categorize all black women into this category. So now to them, all black women ain't shit, or they too this, or they too that, right? So how my mind works, I try to look at the relationship they have with their grandmother, their mother, and if they have a negative perspective of their mama, their grandmama, or the women in their life, the black women in their life, they will take that out on all the black women on this earth. It's not.
Now, look, how about this? How about this? How about you get a man who do like black women and do date black women and go live your life? You can't, because you one of the black women that these men are talking about. That's why you don't probably have a man. The nose ring is giving it away. The fact that you on TikTok with this nonsense is giving it away. If you were one of the rare good ones in the exceptions, you would be married with kids somewhere by now. Clearly you over 30, 35. So yeah, you're telling on yourself just because this video exists. Yeah, I'm gonna ride out. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, how others treat you is their karma. How you treat others is your karma. Be nice to people because God's watching. Remember, I'm a nice guy. I just play asshole on the internet, and I have never done anything remotely wrong my entire life ever. Keep your blood sugar and your blood pressure down to keep the reaper from coming around. Make sure you get your yearly checkup so Satan don't catch up. RB Sensei